Is it going?
It's going. That's going. 4 seconds. 5 seconds.
Hello. This is Mike and Steve.
Hello there.
Fixing it with the Long Bros.
I'm Mike Long.
Here's what we got. You see up there what that is our 1952 Greyhound bus. It's in a paint booth for buses at ABC Bus in Grand Prairie, Texas. Now we hired them to blast all the paint off of our bus, put bay windows in it, front windows or side windows. You'll see. We'll show you all that. And put a power plant in it, and we'll show you that. And they put air cams on the bus, and checked out they needed to put some air hose on it. They did that, and they lowered the floor. And, we talked about all that.
I remember when I came up and saw you there, you were pissed off.
Yeah, when we pulled up in the bus or in Mike's car, and I jumped out because I've done that work before. Did a lot of that work before. I had my own shop, and I opened the door, and they were supposed to use peanut shells, and they used, unbeknownst to me, they used baking soda. So I, not knowing what that was, and there was inside of the bus, and on the wiring, and on the steering wheel. I don't know if you can see that, but it was just a foot deep inside.
I would highly suggest if somebody was going to soda blast your vehicle that you make sure that they cover all the vent holes.
Well, I ran inside and I was pissed. Didn't know what that was. It didn't look good to me. They didn't mask anything off. So I ran inside and I talked to the guy, the manager out there, and said, "What the hell is that?" And he said, "Well, we use soda. Or not soda, but we use soda." I said, "Well, you're supposed to use walnut shells. Crushed walnut shells." He said, "Well, we couldn't get any." So we did it. I said, "Well, that's going to ruin my wiring," which it ended up doing, by the way, and we'll talk to you about that. Yeah. So anyway, he said, "Well, the bill is close to $50,000." I said, "There is no way I'm paying you for that. For one thing, we hired you to shine up the side of the aluminum on the siding, and your guy, all he did was grind on it and put big old divots and scratches and stuff in it." And I said, "I'm going to have to fix that. I should sue you." So anyway,
there were pits in that.
We spent
siding
years and years.
If you ever know, for somebody who don't know how to grind something, they turn the grinder on its side and dig deep crevices and gouges in.
I had to hire people.
That's what it looked like.
I hired Carlos and myself and my dad and Mike. We all had to sand that whole thing out. Anyway,
this is our story, and we're going to be telling
they did good on
a lot
some things
about our stories, and this is a part of the beginning in Texas.
There you see that they cut the bay windows out, and they did some body work on it, and that metal down on in front of Mike's car there. That was for the floor. They took that stuff out of so they could lower the floor, and we'll show you all that too. So anyway, you see at that point it looked pretty good. I didn't know that the real problems that were coming. I had my assumptions.
That's a PD
4301.
4103. Has a 671 Detroit engine in it. And it was in good shape, and it ran really well. It had a lot of oil on it, but it ran good.
I think they all leak.
It was just been overhauled at a couple 100,000 miles.
This was in 2003. And there's the power plant they put in. It's a 12K. 50 amp, and there's the number on the block.
Yeah, we paid pretty close to 10 grand for it, not more.
Yeah, and it's a Kubota. And so anyway, it works real well, and they put that in at ABC Bus, and it was just full of soda. There's the engine at the time, what it looked like. And if you know anything about that, you can see that there's a lot of smoke.
There's our dad. He bought that bus in 1971 or 2.
Yeah.
I had a 1937 Ford pickup, and of course, I don't know how I got that bus. I'm pretty sure Dad helped me get it. Anyway, he found it probably, and I bought it. And I was like a teenager. And the guy would not do the deal if I wouldn't give my 37 Ford pickup up. So I gave that 37
and I did a lot of work on that body work, and it was looking good.
Oh, I love that little
And you
truck.
did the.
I could peel out in that thing.
You did the. You had the front grill all welded up and everything, and you did. If you remember right, you did tuck and roll on the interior.
That took forever. That guy, I had to go back and almost tear his arms off to get that.
Anyway, our dad would do anything for us, so we would do anything for our dad, and that's why we did this work on the bus.
He's sitting there looking at his engine.
Yeah, there he is.
He knew a lot about that engine, and at that time I wasn't interested too much in it, and because it was so greasy.
We go hunting and fishing and camping and traveling.
We go in the woods in between trees. And Dad would be driving it in there, and he'd back out of these places. It was unbelievable.
We went down one. You weren't with us, but we went hunting, and we went down this slope, and then there was a creek down there, and I was like, "You ain't gonna make it." Well, we couldn't go back because of the way the hill was, and there's no way we could go back. And so he went down there and up, and then we parked.
Probably had to buy the property and live there.
Yeah. So he drove truck his whole life, and he could go anywhere. He was quite the skill. He could drive. That guy could drive.
He parallel parked
there's
that bus.
There's
the
radiator
at
there.
a baseball field.
The radiator there was green. I don't know if you can see that. It was green. That was from the soda. We didn't know it at the time. And there's what it looked like after they primered it. So they shot they got all the paint off of it. They did some body work that I did. I ran over. That's a story. Anyway, they did the primer work. They painted it yellow, or it's not paint. It's just primer, and it don't look too bad. I mean, it looked good, and we thought we had something. All the lights were working, all the blinkers, all the everything, the running lights, everything was working, and this is a 10,000 square foot warehouse right here, and we parked it in there.
That was in Kennedale, Texas.
Kennedale, Texas.
That's where we had our game room, slot machines and whatnot.
We parked it in there for pretty close to 10 years, and started working on it and stuff. And our dad, he started messing around with everything, and he couldn't get. I remember, we were busy with our businesses, and he was out there running extension cords to get the brake lights working, because everything was just.
The thing was.
He cut a hole right in the.
The thing was going crazy.
Yeah, he cut a hole right in that running light above the driver's door.
Yeah.
He cut a hole from the outside in, because the wire, he just couldn't figure it out. Well, it was that baking soda. It was shorting out all the wires.
There's cloth wires in those old 52s. Definitely had cloth around the.
There he is. That's when we moved to Dallas, away from Kennedale.
That was on Jubilee Trail in Dallas, Texas.
This is when we started the work on the.
Off of 635.
Yeah. This is when we started the work on the inside of the bus. Thinking everything was fine on the.
We found out a lot about that up here in a couple of seconds. You're going to see that I'm going to explain some. Oh man.
Well, we have to start over.
No, we'll just cut it out. We'll just cut it out.
Restore 52.
There's Mike working on the.
Turn that down.
Steven, would you take this?
There's our dad.
Oh.
He's bringing us some.
What is it?
Bread. Garlic cheese bread.
Cheese.
You don't know it, but he's got crutches. He's on crutches. He had pancreas cancer. It wasn't long after this.
He came up to us. He came up to us and said, "Look how skinny I am, and
I can't gain any weight."
So what the heck? And it was a shock. He weighed like 125 pounds.
He looked like one of those.
And
April.
oh my God! Then we took him to the
22nd,
Veterans Hospital,
2012.
and they came back and said he had cancer.
60 years old.
Pancreas cancer.
60
So
years old. I
he wanted to do an operation. He said, "I might as well," because they told him it was a painful death.
There was nothing they could do.
He wanted to do the operation. The guy said he would not do it because he would die on the
Figure it
table.
out as we go.
And Dad said, well, that's, it's better than suffering. And,
I would imagine
you know,
60 years old.
I wasn't there, but you were there when they told him that.
Yeah, I
But
don't
that
think you want to be eating it.
Our dad was tough. That's why we did all this on the bus. He loved that bus, but he was ashamed of it.
Probably good for tonight, huh?
So you can hear me back there. I'm trying to explain the floor.
I've been wanting to do that a long time. I think I've got this one.
Listen to me for a second.
Get rid of the big
That's
squirrel.
what I've been trying to tell you for your whole life. Listen to me for a second.
I should
Showing
use
the floor.
Should we lower the floor?
A lot of people say you can't lower the floor, but you can. Structurally, underneath it, it goes. They raise the floor
Yeah, you can't tell this. We need to get this out of here.
when they put those buses together to put those chairs in. Structurally, it's sound clear across. It's got
Yeah, you're
cross
right.
member in there.
Yeah, I did a lot of work. They did. That was a lot. They
To the
did.
folks. Right now.
Now these pictures are the front of the bus.
Plugging the wire.
There's a control panel by the driver's seat up there, and there's a ton of wires in there, and a lot of them are for, they go back to the box in the back, and the heater system there is a grill that goes back, and
Links
these
in the bus.
plug-ins, the electrical plugs, are run through the 2x2s, and I drilled holes in those and reset those wires.
We insulated the whole thing, top and bottom and all around it.
The wire, the little thing you see hanging down in the window there, were the window or the lights for the bus. So when they turn those on, you can see where you're going and whatnot. And then there was some reading lights there.
We did all.
There's
we did all
the
those.
control
You'll see that.
box, the breaker box, and all those plugs, the 4 per panel plugs. I have, I don't know, probably 30 something in there. So there's probably 120, probably 120 plugs around in there. So wherever you're sitting, you can plug something
Turn
in.
that light the other way.
And that would probably
If
be
you
it.
would, please. Sure.
Yeah, so they look like $30,000 worth of work we've done. Trust me, if you want to
What we
work
did.
for a long time and spend a lot of money, get yourself a bus.
Lowered the floor, how the
But they're
seats used to
great.
be.
They are. They're
Although we haven't even, we drove from Texas to
Well, we lowered the floor.
here, and that's it. And it's been sitting.
It used
But
to be like
the
an
engine
aisle
blew
right
up.
in the middle here.
That's another story. We'll see that.
This walkway.
Tell that.
Well, listen, if you find this interesting, which we got a long way to go in our story, and if you would like to subscribe, you'll be very happy to do so. See the subscribe button there and push it and become one of our subscribers. And we're just getting started with our stories because we have a lot of them and they mean a lot to you. And there's the bus again.
That's enough.
It's a beautiful bus. It runs really well, and we'll tell the story about how we got from Texas. We left in July of 2013, and
We left Texas because our dad, we're from Oregon originally. Our dad wanted to come back to Oregon and die holding his brother's hands.
Yeah,
So he took care of them when he was growing up. He worked in the fields because his dad couldn't. His dad got hit in the head with a branch.
that's another story.
And Dad took care of the family. It's like patches are dependent on your son, like that song. If you haven't, you gotta listen to it. That's our dad.
All right, we'll see you guys later.